Good morning. So I got some positive feedback from the last video that I uploaded. And so what I'm thinking I'm going to do here is I'm not going to do this was the day, because I do have some beautiful scenery ahead of me today. But it's not really enough to base an entire video on. But, you know, us truckers, we get around. So I'm still in Montana. As you can see, the 50,000 silver dollar place, same place I stopped last night, shut down, and I had a really good meal and one too many beers, which is really atypical for me. But it was such a good day, I decided to tie one on a little bit. Anyways, so I'm going to be starting here in Montana. I wish I knew the name of this little town, but I'm sure if you looked up 50,000 silver dollars Montana, you'll know where I'm sitting. And from here, I'm going into Spokane, Washington, which means I get to go over 4th of July Pass on my way past Lake Coeur d'Alene in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So I think I'll probably take some footage of that, maybe snap some pictures. And then from Spokane, I have to turn and head south down to Boise, Idaho. There is some really boring scenery through there. There's also some really beautiful scenery, so I hope to capture that. From there, I go over to Grandview, Washington, and then I go over to the Seattle area, which means I get to go over to Snoqualmie Pass. And that is extremely beautiful. So I'll get footage of that, and then from there, I head down to Portland and get my return load home. Who knows where I go from there? I've seen some really stunning stuff out, depending upon where I pick up and where I head out. For example, if you head east out of Klamath Falls, Oregon, which was an area, even though I lived in Oregon for many years, it's a part of the state I had never been to, and kind of dropped my jaw. Very desolate, very sparse. There's almost no one out there, and it's one of those places that I think it's kind of a hidden gem when it comes to natural treasures that we have in this country. So this is the introduction for kind of what the plan is and what I'm going to put together. And so I'll probably be, hey, this is the end of the week, and this is where we went and what we saw. So who knows what I'm going to find. Enjoy it either way. I'm ready for a little break here. I drive by this place. It's called the Country Mercantile in Pasco, Washington. And I've driven by it a dozen times, and I'm always tempted because the Google reviews are really good. Their big reader board says they have fresh fruit. This is a big agricultural area, so I'm pretty sure it's damn fresh. The reader board also says they've got homemade tamales, which I have a soft spot for. I'm going to cheat on my diet today. And normally I don't have time to stop because I'm just flying by here. I'm trying to get to my next customer to make my next delivery, so that I don't have to, so that I can get the job done as quickly as possible. Fortunately, today I'm not going to make it to Boise for my next delivery before the customer is closed, so I've kind of got a bit of free time here. So I'm going to pop in there, maybe grab myself some tamales, stock up on fruit here, and I'll let you know what I think of it. Okay, so my impressions. I've been to dozens of these things. I sort of have a weak spot for them because they're one of the few places that are big enough for a truck to get in and really tend to have good local fresh produce. So I've been to dozens of these things, and hands down, from California all the way back to the Midwest, that is one of the nicest little country mercantile kind of fruit stand tourist trap things I've ever been in. The variety of products that they had was really impressive, and something that you notice when you've been to enough of these places is that they all have the exact same products. It just has their name stamped on it. These guys had an impressive amount of product that they made right there in-house. They get their own chocolate and candy shop in there. They get the chocolate from elsewhere, but as far as the confections themselves, they actually make them. They got a window, you can see the girls back there actually making it. A massive selection, which there's a picture of, and it's included in the video here. Massive selection of salsas. The jarred ones were the same ones you can get just about anywhere else, but the fresh salsa that were in the case that I took a picture of, they were actually made here in-house. So if you live in this area, this place is definitely worth seeking out and going to. Apparently they have some really kind of over-the-top family events in the fall. Probably we're checking out like a carnival and corn maze and all this kind of stuff. The food was really quite good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. The tamales were kind of typical, nothing to scream about, but they were good. But the beans in particular were some of the best beans that I've had in a long time. Didn't taste particularly healthy, but that's what I wasn't looking for after you're getting tamale rice and beans. So this place is awesome, and if you're traveling through the area, I definitely recommend checking it out. So definitely well worth the stop. It's probably going to be a regular stop, although hopefully next time I won't spend as much as I did this time. like to post videos and whatnot, pictures on the internet, it seems like their goal is to convey an image of perfection in their lives. And of course, just the other day, I posted that video with all that beautiful footage, and I got to go to that beautiful place in Paradise, Montana. Well, I'm not that guy, so I'm going to tell you how ugly it gets to. I should have been in Grandview, Washington 20 minutes ago, but I am still 2.5 hours away. I've been sitting here in the same location for about an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. The information I got over the CB says we're going to be sitting here at least another hour. Don't worry, I'm not alone. If you look in the mirror, the entire interstate is a parking lot, and you look out there, as far as the eye can see, everybody just sitting still on the interstate. So apparently, if you look off in the distance there, in those mountains, okay, when you get, wait, there we go, those mountains. The interstate winds up into the mountains and ends up, let's see if I can get my finger over there, ends up going up over that way and that way, and then it goes up into a little canyon that way. Apparently, let me unzoom that so you don't have to see my pores up close. Apparently, a trucker who was heading this direction with a tanker full of apple juice, is the rumor, was going too fast and lost control and had an accident. Rumor over the CB is that he is okay, so we can talk about what a jackass he is. But he had a crash, pretty much tore the whole nose off of his truck. It's dumping apple juice all over it. That's not the big problem. Apparently it ripped open his fuel tanks as well. So now we've got a hazmat issue. So the state of Oregon has completely shut down the interstate until they get it all cleaned up, and they've got to pull the wreckage out of the way. And as a trucker, you're just stuck. And I'm sure somebody out there is going to go, well, why didn't you just find another route? Well, a couple of people tried that, and the State Patrol was out there turning people around and sending them back because it wasn't a road that was safe for trucks. Too narrow, low clearance, something like that. So today's shot, and it's probably going to screw tomorrow, which is going to probably lead into the next day, and leading into the next day, leading into the next day. So who knows how much time off I'm going to get this time. Anyways, it ain't all peaches and cream out here, kids. So, here's a little update. As a direct result of the 4 hours that I was stuck sitting on the side of the interstate the other day, I made it into Seattle. I took care of my delivery in Snohomish. I took care of my delivery in Seattle. I've got another delivery in this area in a place called Pacific Washington. Then I have one in Fife. And my goal, my intention was to get everything done in the Portland or in the Seattle area here and make it down to Portland tonight because I have Portland area deliveries. But like I said, that 4-hour shutdown on the interstate the other day, not going to happen. So I knocked out my Snohomish delivery, I knocked out my Seattle delivery, and it is currently 3:37. I called my customer in Pacific to verify how late they're there to receive, and they all go home at 4 o'clock. And with Seattle traffic, I wasn't going to be able to make it there in time. So that's all the bad news. Now, I'm a turn lemons into lemonade kind of guy. And I'm in Seattle, which, for those of you who don't know me, I love the gray. I love the rainy. And the last couple of years, they haven't gotten much of that. But right now, it's gray and it's rainy. And the customer I just delivered to said I can park in their yard here and shut down for the night. So I'm doing that. Here's the bonus. Right around the corner is not only an Asian grocery store, but also a Japanese comfort food restaurant. So this is going to make the third time on this run I'm cheating on my diet. But considering how it's been going, I'm okay with that. So I'm about to throw on my little Seattle sombrero rain hat, and I'm going to walk over to the Asian grocery store and see if they've got a decent selection of sake, see if they've got any nice Japanese snacks or treats. And then I'm going to walk over to the Japanese comfort food store, or comfort food restaurant, which opens at 4:30. And I'm going to get myself some Japanese comfort food, baby. Come back to the truck, lay down, watch a movie, and hopefully get a nice early start tomorrow. For those of you who don't know me, frame of reference, it is currently Thursday. I am usually done with my deliveries midday Thursday, and then I'm on my way to pick up my load to go home. The other downside of this, and I know amount of comfort food is going to make up for this fact, but the fact that I'm not going to be able to pick up my return load until late tomorrow, depending upon how things go, maybe even Saturday morning. This means instead of getting my typical 3 or so days off, I'll be lucky if I get 1 day off this time. So, hashtag trucker life.